The Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio.
If you like pina colada.
On AM 560, 96.1 FM, and 87.7 FM. This hour of Sports 56 Happy Hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
Check it out right here.
Ladies and gentlemen, and now,
The only man to give death a near Johnny experience. Johnny Hardin.
Happy Tuesday, everybody. Happy St. Patrick's Day from Sports 56 Happy Hour. And I know it's going to be hard to get your happy hour on with everybody kind of social distancing themselves with COVID-19. But drink one green beer at your house and chill with the people you love, and maybe just listen to me all day long and keep it locked to Sports 56, and then you'll know what's going down. You'll laugh. I'm even going to give you some movies that you can watch later on when Sports 56 is not live anymore. That's right. Tonight, when you get a little sports feel, because today at 2:00 I'm going to be bringing on JD at 2:05ish. He's going to come on, and we are going to break down actually some TV shows, some movies, all that good stuff. Basically, movies that you can watch because he's a movie critic. So we're going to talk about movies you can watch. At 1:30, really 1:25, we're going to break early because John Luke McCord is fired up. He is ready to talk about how St. Patrick's Day, Tom Brady basically just said, if not being able to go out on St. Patrick's Day isn't bad enough, you have lost your beloved son, Tom Brady. This is what it had to feel like when Chicago, when they lost Mike for those couple of years. I know we went and played for, a little baseball, but, dude, it had to hurt. Or maybe better was Brett Favre when he went to the Jets in Minnesota. That had to hurt. We've seen Joe. He went to Kansas City Chiefs. We've seen guys leave, and this is what happens, man. Dude wants to play. Dude wants to win a championship, and dude's going to get an opportunity, I think, at another place. And realistically, I think it would be better if he did leave because the AFC has become Patrick Mahomes. I literally avoid the AFC and just try to meet him in the Super Bowl. I don't want to see him in the regular season. I don't want to see him before I get to the Super Bowl. If I make it to a Super Bowl, to my 10th, and I lose to that man, that'll be like passing the torch. But if I beat him, I'll go out like the baddest man on the whole planet. And that's why I think I love the Tampa Bay rumors. But I do have to say, isn't it fascinating? And will this not be a story all year long? And I want all you people out there, if you want to hit me up in this first segment, I promise you I'll take your calls. 901-360-8255. You want to talk quarterbacking, best situation for Tom Brady, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Let's do that because I want to know what you people think. And it's not just Tom Brady. Teddy Bridgewater's going to Carolina. Mr. Hat is out. Cam Newton. And by the way, I got to give my man mad props. Carolina tried to control the narrative. Cam Newton with his Mr. Hat just came down there and smashed the narrative and was like, bleep that. I didn't want to leave. Bleep that. Bleep that. Doop, bloop, bloop, bloop. I loved it. I have to say, the NFL is at least giving us right now a little bit to hold on to, a little bit to love, something to caress. And I have to say, I read it on a tweet earlier, and I have to say I agree with it. The NBA has always had the best offseason. They own the offseason. This is the first time ever, maybe, because, the regular season and the playoffs are owned by the NFL. NFL is king during season. NFL, nobody is better at the offseason at getting your attention, paying attention to stars and what they're doing. And I think that's NBA's territory. NFL might this year have just kicked it to the like with all the quarterbacks that are going around, with everything that's going on from Amari Cooper and Dak in Dallas to Tom Brady is going to be in a different situation. Andy Dalton, maybe I'm hearing, Jarrett Stidham. I mean, think about the new era that's going to be with the Patriots. Phillip Rivers, maybe to the Colts. Heck, maybe Jacoby Brissett goes back to New England. There is so much talk around the NFL. Oh, is he going to go to San Diego? Just 2 years ago, that was the best team in the NFL, except for Phillip Rivers can't win in the postseason. They had a great offensive line, a dope defense, and more weapons than you can shake a stick at. Look down at Tampa Bay with Bruce Arians. Over the last 6 games last year, the number 1 defense in the NFL. O.J. Howard, who loves tight ends? Cameron Brate, who loves tight ends? Tom Brady. Those are 2 of the best right there. Mike Evans, he ain't had a big wide receiver who can go deep like that in forever. So you got weapons. I'm just saying, and Drew Brees is getting old. The Falcons aren't going in the right direction, and Carolina's going to suck. Just let's be real. I know Christian McCaffrey and Teddy Bridgewater is going to go to Carolina, but let's be real. This is a rebuild in Carolina. They're not going to be competing for the class of the NFC next year. I can promise you that. So I think the NFC is better for Brady, and he already on basically St. Patrick's Day crushed everybody in Boston. I just don't see him going to San Diego to play twice a year Patrick Mahomes. Who knows? Maybe he's a competitor. Maybe that's the place for him. Him and Keenan Allen would be dope. I ain't gonna lie. Watching them hook up, that's gonna be fun. Their numbers would be. I mean, if like the draft board, if Keenan Allen had Tom Brady throwing him the damn football, Keenan Allen stays healthy, he might be elevated to a top 1, 2, 3, wide receiver next year because my man gets open and can catch the daggone ball. So that would be also a good fit. But again, man, it's a crazy day. But I want to ask all of y'all this one question. This is the question for me that I have, though. One, I'm going to go on about how great. Ask later about, is Tom Brady the greatest quarterback of all time? Who are the best quarterbacks of all time? Who are y'all's GOATs? Give you a couple intangibles. We'll talk about why. But I want to know, realistically, Tennessee, will this be the conversation the rest of the season? Was Tennessee the best fit for Tom Brady, and Vrabel chose Ryan Tannehill over the GOAT? Could have locked up Derrick Henry to a long-term deal. Could have just had a short-term deal on Tom Brady. Could have got drafted a quarterback to learn behind Tom Brady and Mike Vrabel for the future. It seemed like Tom Brady and Vrabel and the Titans were the perfect fit, except for Tennessee passed on him. And they had to have the conversation. And I'm sure Vrabel had to say, I guess our general manager or management doesn't want to go to him because they're buddies. And I'm sure he would have loved to go play at Tennessee. Why not? Nashville's like the new Hollywood on the East Coast, man. Like Nash Vegas is going crazy. It's, they're making movies. They got country music. It's just doing its whole thing. It's got its own little world. It's got a bunch of Hollywood stars. I think Miley Cyrus is up there or something. Like people love Hannah Montana. I still always remember her as Hannah Montana. Always.
Yeah, that's just how, who she is.
Like, dude, when my daughters, they grew up watching Hannah Montana. And by the way, dude, I think I saw every damn episode. Like, literally. I might not have watched a lot of TV, but I've seen so much Hannah Montana, I wanted to go, oh, man, shoot myself sometimes. Anyway, back to what I wanted to say a little bit. Tom Brady, the NFL, the craziness that's going on right now with free agency, it's absolutely fascinating. 67129, hit me up. Where is the best place for Tom? Who is going to replace him in New England? Is Jared Stidham going to be the guy? Is Bill Belichick going to prove to the world? Or is he going to bring Jacoby Brissett back up there because they liked him earlier? What in the heck is going to happen? Or are they going to go out and draft a young quarterback in the draft? There's just so many questions again. Maybe, hey, what about Josh Rosen? People forgot about him 2 years ago. They were very, very high on Rosen. You could go get Rosen for literally a bag of peanuts. Nobody wants Rosen. My man, Randall's in the house. Didn't even think about Cam. Mr. Hat. Wow, could he, at the age that he is, after the shoulder surgery, after the calf injury that he sustained. I think he had another injury with that. He's had many injuries, but man, is he finally going to be back? Is he ready to get back to that MVP, that guy that took them to a Super Bowl? And it took Von Miller to literally just wreck his you-know-what world, because that year there was nobody that could stop Cam until he ran into basically Von Miller and was like, damn, that defense just – and by the way, speaking of that defense, a quarterback, Chris Harris, has also come back from that Denver defense that won the Super Bowl. Just a little side note, since we're talking about all the movement in the NFL and free agency, Chris Harris, y'all know who he is, and he was probably one of the biggest players in that Super Bowl. Dude can lock down anybody, and he's come out. He is a free agent. He's probably going to be leaving Denver, I'd say. He came out today, said 15 more interception, Hall of Fame lock. That's all I need. I got to say right now, for me, Chris Harris is pretty damn close to a Hall of Famer already right now. You look at his 20 interceptions, and you might not say that's not that high. It's because nobody wants to throw the damn football to his side of the field. And when they do, they pay. And he's going to be, I think, 30 years old when he starts the season this year, I believe. He says he wants to play 5 more years. That'd be like 3 a season. Please, he'll get that easily. I still think Chris Harris is a great football player, but I would like to remind you, he's a 4-time Pro Bowler. He is a Super Bowl champ, 20 INTs, and dude has been one of the best cornerbacks in the league for a long damn time. I mean, realistically, go back. Dude's been locking it down in Denver forever, and he's another person that's out there. But anyway, I just wanted to bring that up because we were talking about Von Miller wrecking up Cam. We also got Teddy Bridgewater. I told you, I don't know if y'all have heard this. Not only is Tom Brady on the free agents, he's literally announcing on St. Patrick's Day that he is not coming back to New England. Everybody in New England is so ticked off. They can't go to the bars because they're under quarantine. So they're like all sitting at home, like doing what? Did y'all see what I retweeted? I got to give credit to whoever that dude was. You need to go to Johnny_radio. And I retweeted this earlier, and I got to give this dude some credit. I have to look it up. It might be the best. Like, this is the funniest tweet I've ever seen about Tom Brady. And it comes from that movie with Ben Affleck. And it's from Mike Sullivan. Check it out. I tweeted it about 4 hours ago. It is literally the best. You watch it, and it's Brady, and he's talking to Julian Edelman here. You watch this, you will laugh so hard, you will cry. So check it out. But again, you had, Tom Brady's on the free agent market. Phillip Rivers looks like he might go to the Colts. You got Jameis Winston. Who knows where he's going to go because Tampa Bay, they looking at, bringing in probably Tom Brady. You got Taysom Hill, a restricted free agent. What's going to end up with him? Teddy Bridgewater looks like he's going to go to, the Carolina Panthers at about $20 million per, which I think is a good deal for both sides. I think it's actually fair. It's just crazy. But by the way, people are saying that Bridgewater, just to give you a little example, somebody asked me, what do you mean Bridgewater to Carolina? They're saying 3 years. This is what's being reported from Chris Mortensen. It's not a done deal. They're negotiating a 3-year contract in the $60 million range, about 20 per. Actually, probably going to give more on the front end to a signing bonus, so they have to, go less per year, so it doesn't hit against the, restricted. Their salary cap is bad. But it's a very interesting thought about Teddy Bridgewater heading to the Panthers again. One other note: don't forget Robert Quinn, who led the Cowboys in sacks last year. Guess what? He is signing with the Bears. That Bears defense is going to be Mac Attack and Quinn. Get the bleep out of here.
The Bears.
But they still have Mitch. But he did have LASIK surgery, so maybe he can actually see this year. Dude, that would be a great... how funny if he has LASIK surgery, he comes out, next thing you know, he's like Joe Damn Montana, like slinging the ball all over the yard, hitting everybody. I just couldn't see last year. But anyway, my buddy Bill in Nutbush... Oh, I think this is my mayor. The mayor of Nutbush. Is this the mayor?
This is the mayor. What's up, bro?
What's up, mayor? How's life?
Just trying to stay up here, deal with some things, keep the sanitizer flowing.
Keep that sanitizer flowing. And one other thing, you got to keep going. A lot of people are wondering how come I'm the 3-time sexiest man in Millington. It's because the mayor of Nutbush fixes this bad boy. Make sure it's the 4-time. All right, mayor?
There you go. We got that 4, 5, 6, 7.
What you thinking about this Tom Brady on St. Patty's Day literally breaking Bostonians' hearts?
It's all Belichick's fault. This was the whole thing. Kraft wanted Brady back. Belichick said it was too much. He didn't want him back, so they argued about it. It's pretty much known that Brady didn't want to play. He didn't want to play with Belichick anymore. He's tired of it. And that garbage offense the offense he had last year was ridiculous. He doesn't go to Tampa Bay. I don't know if he's got some bad advice, because Tampa Bay is designed for him. If he does sign with Tampa, Johnny, you ride on down with me. I'm headed to the casino. I'm loading up on the Super Bowl for Tampa Bay next year. They are going to win it. That team, he's got 2 Randy Mosses, 2 tight ends like you mentioned. I mean, he's got good young running backs that don't necessarily need the ball, but it could play. They got speed. He's got a defense ready-made. They just need one guy. And Chris Harris will be perfect. Go down there. They need one guy on that.
That's a nice one. I like that one.
Secondary, sign Chris Harris and bring Tom Brady. Dude, I'm gonna live. I'm ready for this scheme. When they open it, as soon as they open them doors, I'm the first one in. Everything I've got is going on Tampa Bay to win that Super Bowl right away, because they've got it. I mean, Tom Brady is not washed up. He's ready. He did anybody throw to last year.
I am with you on the fact that, hey, by the way, I'm with you on the fact that he's also not washed up, but I wanted to ask you something. You got to I have to remind people of something. What did Tom Brady, and I know he's a murderer and he's dead now, but when Aaron Hernandez and Gronk, like, let's just be real. When they were introducing that double tight end set with Gronkowski and Aaron Hernandez, that was Tom Brady at his best. You know what I mean? What do you have in Tampa Bay but O.J. Howard, who is a physical freak of a human being? And
Cameron Brate, the touchdown maker.
And that's what I was going to say. And Cameron Brate is the touchdown maker. You put those 2 dudes with a guy who can anticipate coverage and throw the ball to the tight ends as well as Tom Brady likes to do. Both of those go big. And then don't forget, he has never
who's going to cover them?
Yeah, and then he's never had a Mike Evans.
You got
Chris
Evans
Godwin.
Godwin, that's right. You have to literally double team those 2. So who's guarding those 2 tight ends? Linebackers,
man,
defensive ends. Nobody else is available to guard them. So you're right. He'll have an open receiver on every single play. He'll have so many touchdowns next year. Peyton Manning may want to come back to get his record back. I mean, I'm telling you, he'll have 60 touchdowns next year if he signs with Tampa Bay. Write it down. I mean, they will be literally unstoppable.
And one thing I'm going to also remind people, but this is the other thing is, over the final 6 weeks of the season, the number 1 defense in the NFL was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And Ndamukong Suh, you got Mr. Golston, you got Nassib coming off the outside linebacker in. Plus, don't forget LSU's Devin White, who this guy is turning into a superstar. Oh, I like it.
How motivated would you be to play with Tom Brady sitting on the sideline waiting to come back, get that ball back for Tom instead of Jameis, who has the time those interceptions? Now you got a guy who every time you get the ball back for him, 7 points, 7 points, 7 points, 7 points. I mean, it's going to be ridiculous. Please, Tom, go to Tampa. My bank account needs it. Please, Tom, please. I'm headed to the church. They'll have to open the door. I know a sneaking way to get in Catholic church. Please, Tom, sign with Tampa Bay.
Mayor,
come through.
Hey, I will say, you be good out there. The last thing is I want him to go so you make a lot of money and get rich. But do you think that Tennessee made the right decision with going with Tannehill instead of Tom Brady?
Tannehill, come on. All right, look.
He just laughed at
Tannehill, I would give him $3 million. Like, take it or leave it. Where's he going to go? Who's going to take him?
Oh, man, Bill. Hey, be good out there. Take care of the city, man. Make sure I'm 4-time sexiest man of the year. That's my man out in Nutbush, and he also is the one who rigs the contest on the sexiest man of the year. Randall's always wondered how I won that bad boy. But anyway, I do have to tell all y'all some very, very important things. Remember, MemphisFarmers.com. At this time right now, there's a lot going on. We got serious COVID-19 ain't no joke. I've been telling y'all that since last week. Y'all know y'all can turn it on the TV and hear all about that if y'all want to. But there are other things in life, just not this. Like, you have to have health insurance. There's auto insurance. There's rental insurance. There's a rainy day fund, deadgummit insurance, all kinds of insurance. And the man who knows everything about it is the man, Mr. Chad Gatlin at MemphisFarmers.com. That's MemphisFarmers.com. You go see him. You'll be glad you did. You'll see Daniel Gatlin when you get there. Trust me, his friends call him Chad. You call him up at 901-235-1176. Call him Chad. He'll know you got this from me. Whatever you do, go to memphisfarmers.com or check out my man Chad Gatlin by phone, 901-235-1176. It is memphisfarmers.com. This is Sports 56, 96.1, coming back with John Luke McCord. We breaking down football in all kinds of ways. Coming up next, 87.7 FM.
The word is out about R&R on Sports, where you've heard interviews from
Ken Griffith Jr., Dr. J, Hank Aaron, and many, many more.
Right here, R&R on Sports, Saturday mornings, 9 a.m., Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7.
Don't miss it.
DeSoto Auto Sales specializes in late model cars with low mileage. They have the highest standards in the car industry. All of their cars are test-driven, checked out from head to toe. Unlimited inventory, every make and model. And if it's not on the lot, they'll find it for you. Walk in the door of DeSoto Auto Sales, 5704 Goodman Road. Within 45 minutes, you can test your car, get credit approval, and finish paperwork within an hour. No shortcuts at DeSoto Auto Sales. Kind, courteous employees, a down-home environment. DeSoto Auto Sales cares about your time. Lowest prices in a 350-mile radius. We're living in a world today where time does matter. Visit them online. Check out their referrals. DeSotoAutosales.com. Very proud to serve DeSoto County and other surrounding areas. DeSoto Auto Sales, 5704 Goodman Road. Call 662-890-7184. 662-890-7184. Come on down to DeSoto Auto Sales.
Frontier Western Store is proud to announce their T-shirt sale is back. All regularly priced novelty T-shirts are buy one, get a second half price. Tons of new prints by Simply Southern, Girly Girl, and Puppy Love, as well as men's tees by Live Oak and Haybo are included. Frontier's women's boutique is loaded with new styles and colors in current trends of tops, tunics, and dresses. And most are just $14.99, available small to 3X. While you're there, be sure to check out Frontier's world-famous boot showroom. Shop thousands of boots year-round that are in stock, ready to try on and take home. Shop at a local store with excellent service. With their extensive selection of dress and work boots, you are certain to find your next favorite pair. Frontier receives new styles and restocks daily from all the largest boot makers: Dan Post, Durango, Rocky, Ariat, and more. Available in men's, women's, or children's. Outfit the entire family. Frontier Western Store, 5880 Goodman Road in Olive Branch, and on the web at frontierwesternstore.com. Family owned and operated since 1967.
Farmers Insurance knows that there's a not-so-subtle difference between the sound of a car hitting your rear bumper and the sound of a clown car hitting your rear bumper.
Whoa, 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 whoa! Sorry about that.
We call that a three-ring fender bender, and we covered it. Talk to a farmer's agent.
They know a thing or two because they've seen a thing or two.
Call Chad Gatlin at 901-235-1176 or get a fast quote at memphisfarmers.com.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Underwritten by Farmers Truck Fire Insurance Exchanges and Affiliates. Products not available in every state.
It's a March to remember at James Gaddis Jewelers. 20% off engagement rings. The March Birthstone Aquamarine plus 20% off all blue topaz in stock. Tons of new jewelry have arrived, including a new line of colorful spring-like Miss Shoe jewelry. They can customize any jewelry, make it to your specifications, and if you like, provide a free 3D rendering of what it will look like in just 2 days. James Gaddis Jewelers, 4900 Poplar Avenue, online at gaddisjewelers.com. You can call them at 901-767-9648.
I almost never go to Central Barbecue without running into somebody I know.
That could be because you only eat at Central Barbecue.
It's because Central Barbecue is where Memphians go to get barbecue and has consistently been voted the most popular barbecue restaurant among locals.
Actually, that's really saying something.
I know. Memphis is the nation's capital of barbecue. With all the choices, people who live here go to Central Barbecue.
They do get their share of tourists.
Sure, because Central Barbecue has been mentioned on TV and in tons of national publications. You know why?
Because of the great food?
Because those TV shows and magazines look for the place where the locals go, and that, my friend, is Central Barbecue.
Make your day smoking with the Big Green Egg. You can smoke, bake, roast, sear, and grill, all with a lifetime warranty. Ceramic never rusts, and the easy, accurate temperature control gives you the greatest range of any grill. Make your next grill your last with the Big Green Egg. Available at these nearby locations: Hamilton Fireplace Shop, 4462 Summer Avenue; Germantown Hardware Company, 2083 South Germantown Road; Garden Spas and Pool, 9393 Poplar Avenue; and East Memphis Ace Hardware, 5143 Quince Road.
Hi, Hi, this is Rob Brown. Join Pete Cordelli and me Saturdays 8 to 9 a.m. for Sidelines here on Sports 56 WHBQ, 87.7 FM, and 96.1. We'll cover the Memphis Tigers, the SEC, and your favorite team. Give us a call. That's Sidelines, Saturday mornings 8 to 9 a.m. Sidelines is presented by Duncan Williams Asset Management. So get up and give us a call.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. This hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
Well, show me the way to the next whiskey bar. Oh, don't ask why. Oh, don't ask why. Show me the way to the next whiskey bar. Oh, don't ask why.
Yo, yo, yo! How is life treating you on this St. Patrick's Day on Sports 56 Happy Hour with your good friend Johnny Radio? I'm doing pretty good, but the NFL, it is raining down on us all types of love. While everybody's on lockdown, at least they are interested and fascinated. People were talking about the GOAT of all time. Brady, Montana, Favre, Marino, all these things. Name it, Otto Graham. People from way back in the day probably would be saying that. People are looking at me on the other side of the glass like, Otto Graham? Who the heck is that? But anyway, there's all kinds of stuff that's going on. Cam Newton leaving, Bridgewater in. You got Cam Newton firing back at the Panthers. Belichick, what is he going to go with? Stidham? Is he going to go out and get an Andy Dalton? What's going to happen with the draft now? Who's the best? I mean, everybody knows Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson right now are the cream of the crop. But, look at that, Tampa Bay team down there, and look at Breeze and, Bridgewater, who will be over there with Carolina. And you look at Matt Ryan in Atlanta. Tampa Bay might be a team on the rise that might be a good landing spot. San Diego, I just can't help myself. 2 years ago, they were probably the best team minus their quarterback in Phillip Rivers. They were loaded. They won 12 games, man. They were dope. But Rivers can't win in the postseason. We know this. Heck, Tom would have won. I mean, I think he did win it that year. Or did he lose that year? I can't remember. But anyway, Phillip Rivers, dude, you know what I'm saying. By the way, Phillip Rivers finalizing his deal with the Colts, it looks like, which is kind of crazy. But there are so many things I want to talk about. That's why I bring on John Luke McCord. John Luke knows everything there is about football. He knows everything there is about sports. If you're not following him on Twitter, what are you doing? And by the way, once I let him go, my man can go. John Luke, what is up, brother?
Man, not much. It is a day for moving and shaking as far as the NFL quarterback position. We're not getting the college football recruiting right now, not getting a lot of college football activity at all. But
dude, did you hear about the ACC finally? I'm sorry, did you hear the ACC canceled all sports through this semester, or what was it? The what term am I in? I quit teaching one summer, spring term. They're canceling everything until the summer sports or whatever. So like they announced that earlier. Did you see that?
I saw some of that. Had not looked too far into that, but yeah, I mean it's significant, and the conferences keep making those moves. Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. Like the whole deadgum world's on lockdown right now. So like any type of sports that you can get is pretty much love, and that's why I got to give a big thank you to the NFL for giving us something to talk about. We talked about how Dak didn't get signed. Amari Cooper, by the way, just got a fat contract. But by the way, he turned down even more money from Washington. I don't know if y'all heard that. But by the way, he did just, if a couple years ago, y'all saw that like a Cooper Dallas necklace he bought. Like, I don't think you go spend like $100,000 on a diamond pendant and then like transfer teams. Maybe you really like it there. No, he loves it there. He took less money to stay there, and there's a lot of stuff going on. Drew Brees, he's gonna be a Saint for life. But out of all this stuff that's going on, Cousins extension, Mr. Hat, Cam Newton looking for a team, Joe Burrow maybe going to Cincinnati, Andy Dalton, where's he's going to land? I mean, is this year with the quarterback and all the movement, has the NFL finally for once, it does it on the field every single weekend, but is it for once past the NBA and like off-season pizzazz? Like, is this year now, like, with the quarterback changing and the quarterback being like almost the king position, have they taken away the NBA, especially with the NBA maybe not being able to finish out their season?
Absolutely. Look, I mean, I think that certainly when you have quarterbacks moving around like this, it's going to draw more intrigue than just about anything other than NFL games. So I think NFL games obviously going to draw our attention the most, but when quarterbacks start moving around like this, yeah, there's nothing that's going to capture us like this. So it's interesting. I think what it's showing, though, is the NFL is getting to a position where they realize how important quarterbacks are to championships, and basically teams that are saying, hey, we don't have a top 10, 12 quarterback. I guess you could stretch that out to 15, depending on where you grade Ryan Tannehill out in the NFL starting quarterback hierarchy. But look, if you don't have a top 10 to 12 quarterback, you've got to be moving. You've got to be shaken because quarterback contracts are just too high. They're too pricey and too much of your salary percentage to not get that position right. So I think they're showing, hey, if you prove that you're not worthy or you can't win the title for your franchise, you're going to be on the move. You are going to be looking for another job. I mean, look, the Panthers, they okayed for Cam Newton to go seek a trade. They basically just said, yeah, you figured this out for yourself. We're good now, and you can figure it out. We'll deal you there later if it's the right deal for us.
It is just it's an absolute wild year. I'm going to jump right back on all the quarterback stuffs, but I did want to ask you, it has to do with just one team, Mitch Trubisky. He has LASIK surgery. Yeah. They bring in a little backup or maybe somebody to possibly push him or maybe even take over that job. But then they do something that I think is kind of dope in the aspect where you got the Mac attack, and then you go bring in Dallas's best, pass rusher last year in Mr. Quinn. That sounds like something that just would be scary for a lot of quarterbacks. And, I mean, if you're Aaron Rodgers, you want him to get the ball out of his hand quick. Kirk Cousins, you want to do the same thing to him. In that division that they play, I kind of like what the Bears are doing, going defensive strong. And I guess they just got to pray that Mitch is going to get better.
I mean, do you not feel like they're hoping one of these quarterbacks falls their way at this point? I mean, I'd seen something like maybe Andy Dalton was in play for Chicago, but I mean, it would seem Cam Newton might be a better option to try to shoot for there or along those lines. So I'm not sure Chicago is completely out of the quarterback market as well at this point. And I think the better that roster gets overall, I think the more you have to the more responsibility you have to look deeper at that quarterback market because Mitch Trubisky certainly is still young and certainly could still grow into that position, but at this point, he's never going to catch up to those two other guys, Mahomes and Deshaun Watson from his draft class, and so it's going to always be looked at, I would think, as a failure in drafting Mitch Trubisky as high as they did. So I would have to think they're looking there. I mean, you're really putting your fan base in a hard position, and guess what? Okay, so you come out months from now in the season, and Mitch Trubisky is a better player. You still put your fans in a position for a long time to feel like you weren't truly chasing a title. So it's going to have to come down to their evaluation in that building. Obviously, I'm not in that building. I haven't evaluated Mitch Trubisky and have to invest in him like they have. And so my words don't mean as much, but I would have to think Chicago, with what money they could scrape up underneath the salary cap, has to be looking at the quarterback position this offseason for sure. I mean, definitely.
I think, even though he had LASIK surgery and that could maybe be a situation, I'm with you right now. You got to be, if you're the Bears GM, Ryan Pace, you got to be saying to yourself, dadgummit, dude. I mean, from pass rushers like Leonard Floyd, we got now Robert Quinn, we got Khalil Mack attack. Our defense is the real deal, dead-gum, holy field. We do everything right. We can bust you upside the dead-gum head. And they just, unfortunately, can't do jack on offense. And I mean, they couldn't do literally anything, and it's always going to come down to, they moved up, took him number 2, and, Patrick Mahomes falls to 10, and I think it was Watson to, 11 or 12. It's just insane when you think about that. And, I don't know what's going to happen, but we'll see. And it's just a team I like to talk about because, people like to always, for some reason, talk about the Bears.
Well, hey, one thing while we bring up Deshaun Watson, he's not in any conversations to move, obviously, but in his own mind, you might be wanting to move out of Houston at this point.
You want to smack Bill O'Brien in the head?
Yeah.
Do you think that? Okay, this is my question.
Roster right now.
All right, well, this is my thing. Did there have to be a falling out between quarterback and wide receiver or something? Like, you don't give away
Well, it was purely contract, I think, on the receipt on DeAndre Hopkins. There was a contract request that Hopkins was making that Houston simply knew they weren't going to be able to oblige. I think honestly that's what happened to the trade breaking down and it ending up the way it did for Houston. There, I think that it became public through DeAndre Hopkins' agent there that hey. Houston is restricted in what they can do for him. Here's what he wants, and I think a lot of teams took the leverage away from Houston in those trade talks because they knew that Hopkins was not happy there. They knew that Houston could not meet his needs contract-wise, and I think that's why you see him ended up. Look, I mean, how you don't come out of there with a first-round pick for DeAndre Hopkins is completely absurd, and why you would take on a player like David Johnson is even crazier. So that's an all-around bad deal unless you just absolutely hit it out of the park with that pick they picked up.
All right, now I got to get into a couple of the important things around here, and first I got to start with the Titans. Everybody and their grandmother back when, do you remember that Syracuse game? And you got Julian Edelman, I'm coming back, and Tom Brady's like, no, I ain't coming back. And then you hear like Mike Vrabel and Tom Brady have like this, big talk and like a face-to-face. People really thinking about, maybe Tom Brady is going to be coming to the Tennessee Titans. But before even Brady announces, and they had this conversation, they decide to put the franchise tag on Derrick Henry, and they drop all kinds of cash on my man Ryan Tannehill. He has that one great year. He's going to get mad cash. I do want to remind people, though, Tannehill is actually a little bit older than people remember. He's going to be 31 next year. I think a lot of people forget that. He's not going to be 43, but he's also not 27. So just a little reminder, he spent a lot of time down in Miami. The other thing, though, is I want to ask you just the question on, like, these quarterbacks, and you then kind of just go at it. Did the Titans make the right decision going with Tannehill and franchising Derrick Henry and not taking Tom Brady?
Yeah, it was a lot at play right there. And, I mean, I think, look, they can get away with the choice of paying Tannehill versus giving a longer-term deal to Derrick Henry just because the market for running backs at this point, I think, certainly that helped them sort of not look crazy there. But I'm telling you, I don't obviously have not entered negotiations with Derrick Henry at all, but I just don't know how you can't look at a 4-year deal that's, close to guaranteed fully up front in the first 2 years, which you feel good about getting from Derrick Henry, and then looking to load it up with incentives and a lower base salary on the back 2 years of the deal there. I feel like Derrick Henry was clearly what got you there. Yep. He's got the potential in the next 2 years, I would think, and look, potentially longer, but you always have to be thinking about a running back's health, the tread on those tires. I think that potentially he could have propped up another quarterback in that system, especially with the receivers they've got in place there. With the offensive line you talked about, you really love that offensive line.
I love that offensive line.
I think you got a chance with those pieces to prop up another quarterback, maybe an older quarterback like a Tom Brady. But for the right price, I think they could have made that offense work. Certainly they want to keep the continuity, run it back there with Ryan Tannehill and see what they got. Now, I just can't fault them there. I am interested, though. Not saying I would have chosen Tom Brady route over paying Tannehill what they did. I just wonder what all information they had at hand when they did finalize that deal with Tannehill. Did they know Tom Brady was leaving New England for sure? Did they feel like Tom Brady was leaning towards a landing spot, therefore they bowed out of that race? A lot of questions I would have there, more than I have answers at this point. But I think overall, the only change I would have made in that decision is just to look closer at a deal that you might have could have worked out for Derrick Henry to keep him in town. It may not be true, but this feels like a situation where, Derrick Henry's going to keep this in mind, file that away, and move on when he's able to, because they chose essentially Ryan Tannehill for the foreseeable future.
Now, which I got to ask you, which team lands the Tom Brady sweepstakes?
Whew, it makes a lot of sense to me that he would head back home and play for the Chargers, but there's a lot of buzz.
Head
about
back out to Cali. Going back to Cali.
I think that would be the coolest story. Just that for Tom Brady. I mean, you've been somewhere so long. You make that Boston to LA move like a lot of people do, not just NFL quarterbacks, and for the leisure of life you can lead there and things like that. But look, there's a lot of smoke that he's going to wind up with Bruce Arians, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and see what they can do there. Obviously, that receiving group is good. Mike Evans highlights everyone there.
It's all
O.J.
for
Howard
me, though.
is in place.
Dude, for me, Mike Evans, of course, is the key. But, dude, when you can get O.J. Howard and Cameron Brate, like, it just puts me back to the two tight end situations. I don't like to bring them up. But remember Aaron Hernandez and Gronk? Those were, like before all that situation happened bad with Hernandez. That was an offense that was scary. Tom Brady is good at tight ends crossing and getting on linebackers. He can read that, pick that up, and get the ball out of his hand still quickly as anybody.
And just punishing you for mistakes you make from the snap in the box. If there's space you leave open in the box, he's absolutely got the accuracy to still kill a team up and down the field. In that area, because you do look at some of the receiving situations that he's looking at as far as other teams, and I just don't know that Tom Brady needs to go to a team. I'm not saying this is all the Tennessee Titans offense is based off of, because they've got Delaney Walker coming back, they've got A.J. Brown, who I think are both great possession receivers, and Walker's a tight end too. But he doesn't need a receiving setup where it's built to go down the field. I don't know that Tom Brady's skill set is still in place to be able to do that. I don't know that he's ever going to have a season or a renaissance back that year you had with Randy Moss just chucking it downfield. So I think he's got to go to a setup where, and you have to think too, Aaron Hernandez, Rob Gronkowski, those guys were in place just a few years ago in New England, and it was probably a situation Tom Brady felt comfortable finishing his career with. Hey, I'm going to have these two tight ends. They're going to make it real easy on me, regardless of what we have outside here in this passing game situation going forward. And he probably felt good about retiring that way, but now he would get to reset and run it back. Of course, Bruce Arians
never would have thought, though, it would have ended up where Gronk is thinking about signing with the WWE. Brady is signing with another team, not the New England Patriots, and Aaron Hernandez, rest in peace, even though he did some horrible things, but he's not with us, so I don't like to speak ill of the dead. Don't want anybody to come haunt me.
What is Belichick going to do, though?
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Is he going to go? This is going to be
the
interesting. Do you believe in Jared Stidham at all? Do you think there's any
Absolutely
chance
not.
that Belichick is so, he has such a belief in himself? Do you think he says, I can do this with Jared Stidham?
Look, I don't, if Belichick likes him, and I'm not certain on exactly how Belichick feels about him. He's kept him around. But yeah, Belichick can certainly make a lot of things work, a lot of situations that would be tough work. There's some similar labels that were put on Jarrett Stidham. Of course, we're not going to think about Jarrett Stidham in the same frame as Tom Brady, even trying to put ourselves back to when Tom Brady's coming out of college. But you look at some of the labels that were put on Jarrett Stidham in his draft evaluation in the transition from college to pro, and it's similar to what we knew of a young Tom Brady, which is like, hey, this guy's very accurate. That's clearly his high point, but he doesn't have the strongest arm. Now, obviously, Tom Brady went on to, through work ethic, develop a lot of that arm strength and all the arm he needed, absolutely. But Jarrett Stidham, I'm not sure what the offense would look like there. I definitely don't think you could get away with cutting it cheap at the receiving position the way they've done, or really just the flux they've had. They've tried to add some star power to that group the last couple of years, but no one's been able to stick. So I think you'd have to overhaul that position. I'm really out here thinking that Bill Belichick, and maybe it's just, I'm not a Patriots fan.
What about Josh
Rosen?
Those
guys do, but
2 years ago, they were so high on him. They loved Josh Rosen. You could go get that kid for a bag of peanuts from Miami.
Exactly, and that's what I think. I really, truly believe that we're going to see a situation where Bill Belichick ends up with a guy that a lot of people see as a backup that's not necessarily damaged goods, but certainly a pre-owned vehicle, if you will. A Josh Rosen, maybe a Jameis Winston. I know the character doesn't really fit into the culture there.
Jameis Winston. But what if they, do you think Derek Carr? Dude, that's what I was getting ready to say. Phillip Rivers, man, he's going to the Colts. You can bring back Brissett.
And
this
Brissett
is the other thing
was good in New England. And
this is the great thing is this is going to be the hard thing. A lot of veteran quarterbacks aren't going to want to, if you're really talented, want to replace Tom Brady. But Brissett has already done it. He'll be comfortable going back to the Patriots. He knows he can do it. Jared Stidham's in-house has already played there. And if you draft a guy, you'll have somebody that you can play behind, like, a Brissett or Stidham, and they can learn for a couple years, and you can use that late-round pick on a, pretty decent quarterback. Who knows? Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But
there's a lot of talk that they like Fromm in this draft, and I certainly don't think Jay Fromm is ready to play. I think he's an upgrade potentially down the road a year or two over Stidham, but I do not think he's ready to play at all. And so, or be a consistent fixture on the field for any pro team this year. I'm not saying down the road, but yeah, Brissett is a guy that probably makes more sense than any of those other options we even mentioned. But some of those other options, Rosen, Winston, those guys will be fun to see end up there just to see if they can, reclaim their career and get back on track. But no, I think Brissett makes a lot of sense. Obviously, he's about to be out of a job. It's probably a situation where the Colts aren't going to want to make that investment for him to be a guy that just sits on the bench for them. So Chad Kelly seems to be a guy that they're comfortable with right there in that position. I don't know if that's the guy they'll use after Rivers is gone, but I think they do feel comfortable enough with Kelly having been around a while to be their backup. He's certainly got the talent, I think, to win NFL games as a backup at times, spot duty, but yeah. But Brissett back in New England would certainly be interesting. Obviously, like you mentioned, he had brief window of success there in the past, and probably more success there than we even saw from him in college. So I think would certainly be an interesting addition to come back. But either way, that Patriots team I think is going to have a lot of eyes. They'll probably have less haters going forward in the future, and so it'll be interesting to see how that situation develops.
Last but not least, I need to know, where does Mr. Hat go? Cam Newton.
Where is Mr. Hack? I wouldn't mind seeing him end up in Chicago with that defense built. I think they got a defense that's good enough to allow Cam to go through some of these 4-game stretches where he's going to make mistakes. He's not going to be as hot. Maybe he misses 2 to 3 games with an injury, and I think they got the defense to survive something like that. So I don't think for Chicago, Cam Newton is as big a risk as a team that's not as good defensively. So I would be interested to see if they go for maybe a high ceiling, low floor situation with Cam Newton. Thinking about other spots he could wind up, honestly, I think there's some guys above him on the quarterback market that need to fall into place right now before we see exactly where he ends up. And remember, this is also a situation where Cam Newton's going to be traded. So things, assets and salary and things like that are going to have to work out depending or the situation he ends up in. So, but I'm confident that a team is going to take a chance that's in position to, and Cam won't be a backup. So we'll see him starting somewhere next year.
Man, that is John Luke McCord. Make sure you check him out every single Tuesday. He joins me, sometimes different times, most of the time this time, maybe 2 o'clock. You've done that before, haven't you, John? But you can also check him out at JL Grindin on Twitter. That's at JL Grindin on Twitter. And then make sure you also go out and read the Northeast Mississippi Daily Journal. If you're down in Northeast Mississippi, check him out. And they're on Twitter as well at D-Journal Now. D-Journal Now. That's at D-Journal Now. John, I love talking with you. I could talk football all day, and amen. Stay healthy. Hopefully you get wealthy, and hopefully nobody catches the corona. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Good
luck. Drinking Corona. Stay with the light.
I was going to say, drink a green beer today. Be good, brother. That's John Luke McCord. It is St. Patty's Day, by the way. I can't believe it. It doesn't feel like it. It's also the day that we're supposed to start the NCAA tournament in Dayton. Does it feel just as painful to y'all as, like, I woke up and that was the first thing I realized today. Oh, damn.
I'm hurting.
This would be the first game tonight, man. Like, Dayton, it's not happening. March Sadness is starting to become real. Thursday morning, though, that's when I'm going to take it in the gut. And I might be sick that morning. Because, dude, that's the greatest 2 days in all of sports are the first 2 days, Thursday and Friday of March Madness, because everybody takes off work. Everybody's out watching the games. Everybody's got their bracket. Everybody's going bananas. And this year, with legalized betting, you could go across the bridge. You could go down to the Fitz. You could go down to Gold Strike, whatever. You could go do all kinds of things, but everything because of self-quarantine. This stinks. Oh, it's making me miss it. But thank you, NFL, for at least giving us a lot to talk about. Speaking of talking, you can always hit me at 901-360-8255. We'll be back in 2 shakes. Sports 56. Never forget MemphisFarmers.com and my friend Chad Gatlin, 96.1 and 87.7 FM.
Want to get your voice heard? Hit us up on the First Bank phone line or First Bank text line.
Tiger Hoops fans have something extra to look forward to this coming March. Not only is it tournament time, but it's the opening of the Tiger Hoops exhibit at the Pink Palace Museum.
After Finch's two-pointer, Ronnie Robinson sank the shot that once again brought the two teams into a tie.
Come to the Pink Palace Museum this March and experience 100-plus years of Tiger men's and women's basketball, from their beginnings as the West Tennessee State Normal School to the present.
The Tigers are very much alive.
Don't miss the Tiger Hoops exhibit at the Pink Palace Museum, opening March 7th.
Farmers Insurance knows that there's a not-so-subtle difference between the sound of a car hitting your rear bumper and the sound of a clown car hitting your rear bumper.
Whoa, 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 whoa! Sorry about that.
We call that a three-ring fender bender, and we covered it. Talk to a farmer's agent.
They know a thing or two because they've seen a thing or two.
Call Chad Gatlin at 901-235-1176 or get a fast quote at memphisfarmers.com.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Underwritten by Farmers Truck Fire Insurance Exchanges and Affiliates. Products not available in every state.
Make your day smoking with the Big Green Egg. You can smoke, bake, roast, sear, and grill, all with a lifetime warranty. Ceramic never rusts, and the easy, accurate temperature control gives you the greatest range of any grill. Make your next grill your last with the Big Green Egg. Available at these nearby locations: Hamilton Fireplace Shop, 4462 Summer Avenue; Germantown Hardware Company, 2083 South Germantown Road; Garden Spas and Pool, 9393 Poplar Avenue; and East Memphis Ace Hardware, 5143 Quince Road.
Looking for a great place to deposit your money? Try First Bank. Competitive CD rates, a money market that moves with Wall Street prime and interest-bearing checking account options. Not to mention their friendly bankers who make decisions locally. To find out more, stop by one of First Bank's 3 local branches: 6482 Poplar Avenue, just east of International Paper, 8398 Highway 64 across from Wolf Chase, and 6280 Highway 64 in Oakland. Or visit firstbankonline.com. Member FDIC.
It's a march to remember at James Gaddis Jewelers. They will buy your gold and silver. You can bring in your outdated jewelry for a whole new look. They have showcase gifts under $250 and Ronaldo bracelets from $50 to $350. They also have a beautiful estate collection picked by James: pearls, rubies, emeralds, sapphires, and of course diamonds. Plus watches of all types, including new and pre-owned Rolexes. James Gaddis Jewelers, 4900 Poplar Avenue, online at gaddisjewelers.com. You can call them at 901-767-9648.
Pop Wigington has been in the restaurant business since the 70s and has now brought 3 generations of family favorites together under one roof at Pop's Comfort Kitchen, 2990 Kirby Whitten Parkway next to Kroger. Pop's takes you back to a simpler time when food and life was more wholesome. Settle down today for lunch or dinner at Pop's with daily specials like country fried steak, fried catfish, chicken and dumplings, or Pop's famous fried chicken livers, all served up with your choice of 23 fresh vegetables like field peas and snaps, seasoned green beans, sweet corn and turnip greens. Hungry for a sandwich? Check out the Chuck, a hand-patted cheeseburger between 2 grilled cheese buns topped with lettuce, tomato, diced onion, pickles, fried egg, and bacon. Or a half-pound flat iron steak sandwich served on Texas toast. Don't forget one of Grandma's homemade desserts like chess pie or banana pudding. Take comfort today at Pop's Comfort Kitchen, 2990 Kirby Whitten Parkway next to Kroger. Pop's Comfort Kitchen.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio.
Kick it over here.
This hour is brought to you by memphisfarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. memphisfarmers.com.
Thick and thin, I'm your pusher man.
I'm your pusher man. Welcome into Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your very good friend Johnny Radio. Sharp's in his house. We also got Jalen up in here. And let me tell you something. It is NFL Tuesday on a St. Patty's Day. You had my man, Tom Brady, smack every Bostonian across the damn face like on the way out. Not only am I leaving you after 20 and giving you nothing but love. 9 times I took you to the Super Bowl. 6 times I gave you the ring. But I'm going to slap you on a day you can't even go to a bar and drink green beer. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Out. Peace. Dude, he dropped that joint on St. Patty's Day, yo. That was cold-blooded in my opinion. But there's all kinds of crazy stuff going around. Like, Dak got franchise tag, which I'm telling you, Dak, take that 31, sign 100 and something next year. But holy bleep, Amari Cooper, You didn't sign Dak because you wanted to go give Coop $100 million. All right, I'm down with it, I guess. But dude, that's a lot of daggone money for Amari. And again, I just want to remind people this: in the history of our sport, the only quarterbacks to get a contract this size at their position: Odell Beckham, $65 million, Julio Jones, $64, Michael Thomas, $60.5. Yes, my man Amari got a $100 million deal, $60 million guaranteed. That's right. He's up there with the bomb of the bomb. Is he that type of receiver? Hit me up and let me know. 67129. What do you think? Did Tennessee do it right? Is Dallas doing it right? Where's everybody going to land? What's going to happen with Bill Belichick? And by the way, my man Tom Brady, he goes and eats with Robert Kraft last night and all that stuff. Do you even think he lobbed Bill a call? Do you think they even talk? I doubt it. They talk through public PR people the rest of the time. Anyway, it is a wild, wild world, and we are just living in it. And we're watching going on. It's coronavirus 2020, but it is COVID-19, which is crazy in 2020, beating us up. But everybody, chill, stay quarantined, sit back, relax, keep it locked to Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7 FM.
Here's a message for all you station surfers out there, you changers of the channel. I get it. Life's too short to hang around waiting for something better. So why haven't you made the move to Southland? Maybe you don't like playing longer on the largest slot floor in the region, or maybe you just enjoy the longer drive. But if you think getting there is half the fun, you're probably not having that much fun. Southland Casino Racing. Surprise yourself. Must be 21 plus. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 1-800-522-4700.
Is imitation the sincerest form of flattery? Not when it comes to your car audio. Stereo One is the leader in car audio, remote starts, security, and more for the past 30 years. Stereo One is proud to announce the grand opening of their new location, 1983 Covington Pike, across from the Honda dealership. To celebrate their new location, Stereo One has marked down their entire inventory. Remote start systems at $129 with free installation. Subwoofer base packages start at just $199. Window tint starting at $129. The entire inventory of radios and touchscreens with features like Apple CarPlay, Bluetooth, and backup cameras are marked to go. Check out Stereo One before you buy online. Their knowledge, friendly sales staff, and pro installation team will take care of you. Visit the Stereo One new location today, 1983 Covington Pike, across from Honda, or visit their mega store at Mendenhall and Winchester. Make sure you go to the originators and not the imitators. Stereo One is still the one for your auto accessories.
Stop waiting and start off-road living in a Can-Am today. The Spring Fever event is now on at Olive Branch Motorsports. Take on every task, trail, and terrain in a Can-Am off-road vehicle that will easily handle anything that comes your way. And for a limited time, get up to $2,500 off on select 2019 models, making it easier than ever to go out and play. Visit Olive Branch Motorsports now at 5656 Goodman Road or online at obmotorcycleatv.com.
Hey folks, I'm Jarrett Carter. My family recently purchased East Memphis Ace Hardware at Quince and White Station, and we're excited to offer the best selection of Big Green Egg and Traeger grills. And then don't forget about our Benjamin Moore Paint Studio and the Garden Center for flowers. Save 60% with our new Duracell key fob replacement program. We have a master locksmith service as well as glass cutting and screen repair. The East Memphis Ace Hardware, located at Quince and White Station behind Three Little Pigs.
Let's talk about the fast and fresh breakfast you can enjoy every day at Sunrise on Jefferson. There's nothing more mouth-watering than the house-made buttermilk biscuits, and why not have one of the fantastic breakfast sandwiches on one? Maybe the Dirty South with fried green tomato, or the Rooster with fried chicken, pickle, and Tabasco, or for just $1 more, add an egg for the mother and child reunion. There's the Tennessee Jed, or even the Fit Biscuit with turkey, bacon, and egg whites if you're into that kind of thing. It's all made fresh and fast, just for you, at Sunrise.
You already know you can listen to Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7 anywhere with the Sports 56 app or at sports56whbq.com. But you can also keep up to date with everything going on by keeping up with Sports 56 on social media. Be sure to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch for information on breaking news, chances to win prizes, and video of all the shows. Don't miss out on anything that's going on. Stay in touch with Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7 on social media.
Is your wife asking you to stop eating junk food? Well, we have you covered at Humdinger's. It's quick and it's healthy, and most important, it tastes amazing. With many choices from salmon salad to rainbow trout and grilled asparagus. Come visit us for lunch at Humdinger's, 6300 Poplar Avenue. So good, Coach Penny eats with us weekly. Don't forget, Humdinger's offers full-service catering for weddings, social events, or your corporate lunches. You can call 901-260-8292 to find out more.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis, WIVG-FM Tunica Memphis, and WPG-FLP Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Welcome to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. On AM 560, 96.1 FM, and 87.7 FM. This hour is brought to you by your CBD store, your one-stop for all your natural, organic, and non-GMO CBD products, where good health hits home.
Get out right here. Ladies and gentlemen, and now,
the only man to ever win the World Series of Poker with a Scrabble board, Johnny Hardin.
Yo, 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 y'all have no idea how hard that was to win the World Series of Poker with the Scrabble board, but I pulled it out. Oh, yeah. Speaking of that, welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour. Make sure you stay out of, like, the hot zones, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, be careful out there. But we got to say, it is St. Patty's Day. I'm sure people aren't drinking a whole lot of green beer today or partying like a bunch of rock stars. But the NFL is gone completely crazy. We got like DeForest Buckner getting a 4-year, $84 million extension with the Colts. Yo, big time stuff. We got Quinn joining up with Mac in Chicago. And then we got the crazy just free agency quarterback circle that's like going around. Except for Drew Brees will end up, retiring as Saint. Get like $50 million. He's going to stay there forever. Congratulations with Drew. We got Cam Newton. Mr. Hat is out. We don't know what's going to happen with Jameis Winston. Mr. ESPN 30 for 30. I got that bad boy from my man Randall Sharp. I couldn't stop laughing so hard. Jameis Winston. Mr. ESPN 30 for 30. Damn, you don't want to do that as a quarterback. 30 touchdowns, 30 picks. No. You don't want an ESPN 30 for 30 when you play in that position.
That is insane.
Oh, that one just makes me cry. But there's also just a lot of great stuff that is going around. But I will tell you some things that shocked me. The release of Leonard Floyd, that opened up, by the way, $13.2 million in cap. And I think that's why they were able to go out there and sign Mr. Robert Quinn, more of a defensive end instead of the outside linebacker who can also rush the quarterback. Maybe you can signify that they're going to just go two ends on the end, put your ears back, quarterback attack. Aaron Rodgers, you ain't going to like that. Kirk Cousins, you ain't going to like that. Nobody's going to like that up in there. It's going to get nasty. But we got all kinds of stuff that is going down in the National Football League, but also Dallas Cowboys. They've done some good things, some bad things, some great things, who knows. But they got it, Lyle Collins, to go ahead and convert $5 million into signing bonus, clearing up $4 million of cap space. They go in there, and after they do that, what do you think they do? Uh-oh. Holy cow. I don't know if this is true, but somebody said Tom Brady is set to sign with the Bucs. Says Tom Brady will sign a deal to officially bolt from New England to the Buccaneers. It's all going down today, according to FS1 star Colin Cowherd. Interesting. He says he's made the decision. He says this is what Colin Cowherd says. I am told Tampa Bay is the choice. He will sign tomorrow before the right at the 3:00 whatever right at the end of my show, 3:00 tomorrow. That's when everybody can make this stuff official and you can actually start signing. 3:00 tomorrow, boom, 4:00 Eastern. All these deals are going to get signed like that. Well, who's getting the big $30 million bonus? What was it, Cousins or somebody who's getting just like that huge signing bonus?
Yeah, Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, Kirk Cousins. He's going to get that bad boy tomorrow, dude. Like, literally going to get that $30 million at signing. Like, that's just like, dude, if I was Kirk Cousins and he drives a damn minivan. Like, dude, come on, bro.
So humble.
Come on. I humble my butt. You don't be driving around a minivan when you look like $100 million man. Minivan, what is Kirk Cousins? I'm gonna be a Uber.
You like that?
Dude, I don't like it, actually. I want my quarterback not in a minivan because you know what minivan says? He's not sleeping at all at night because he's at home with a bunch of dang kids, and I need my quarterback rested, all right? You can have kids all over the place. Look at Phillip Rivers. I ain't trying to say this. He has 8 blessings. 9 beautiful children. 9 beautiful children. But do you know what? If he may have waited till after his playing, he might have had actually a couple of Super Bowls. Because, dude, when you rocking 9 kids to sleep at night, bro, you ain't got a lot of time to be in the playbook.
That's definitely getting to him.
But I'm just messing around and having fun with it. But everything, honestly, and I am being serious, everything in the NFL, is going down, and it's going down for real. And tomorrow gets real tomorrow when everybody actually signs the deal. But according to Colin Cowherd, he says he has spoke, and it says, by the way, his source is basically a wealthy celebrity connected to Tom Brady. Huh? Like, by the way, why would you even release that? Like, my source is a wealthy celebrity connected to Tom Brady. Like, you got to drop out the wealthy celebrity. Like, somebody close to Tom Brady. My source is a wealthy celebrity close to Tom Brady. So you can count that one, bad boy. Dude, I've heard Michael Irvin, who's a wealthy celebrity on TV, spouting all kinds of BS every single day. And usually he's wrong because he's so jacked up on yayo, we don't even know what he's saying. He's just talking Mike. Mike being Mike, It's like Boogie Nights, Just Roller Girl being Roller Girl. Speaking of movies, I got to get my man JD on because I'm about to take y'all to a new section. We're going to have JD Duran. We've been talking about how COVID-19, realistically, social distancing, people are self-quarantined. This is the real deal. Holyfield, I've been telling y'all this since last week. I'm trying to give y'all a reprieve. Last week, I was more giving you a warning and take it serious. This week, I'm just trying to make you happy. And I'm going to tell you because, thank goodness for the NFL, but we don't have March Madness. It is March Sadness. And with all the games that we are missing out on, and I know that it's going to make people stir crazy, and I know there's a lot of movies out there that people want to watch. I'm found out all kinds of new stuff since I've gotten into Netflix, Amazon Prime, got on my Xfinity thing, pulled up the thing. You can get movies in the theater on that jaunt. Like, they're like, it's in the theater. But then you look at the price, like $15.99. I'm like, damn, I can just go to the theater for that price. Nuh-uh, I don't think so. Charging me that. I know what you charged me a month. You're going to hit me with another $15? No way. But anyway, my man JD Duran, he knows basically everything there is about movies. He is a film critic. He's also a friend of CJ Hurt. And he's been a friend of my show for pretty much, man, I don't even know how long I've been rapping with him over the years. I bring him on. I had him as a regular back in the day. I actually have to bring on JD to ask you, how long we been rapping, JD?
Hey, thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
What's up, dude? How long me and you been doing this, man? It's been a long time, but I mean, I had you, 3-4 years ago?
Yeah, something like it. Feels like it's about 3-4 years. And I do miss able to come on more fluently, but I understand there's a lot more going on in this world. Maybe right now, but usually.
Yeah, that's true. And right now, people need a little bit of a reprieve. They need a little bit of break. What's going on? People are doing social distancing. And the reason I wanted to bring on JD, I want you to also tell them where they can find all of your information, website, Twitter, all that good stuff, because he's a film critic. And I know a lot of people right now have March Sadness because you don't have March Madness. Baseball has been pushed back. Sports have been canceled. NBA games aren't happening. So people are actually watching a heck of a lot of television and movies and things. And I know nobody knows movies better than you. So I want to know, what are some of the movies that are out there that literally, if you're somebody like me, and this is like, I'm not, I told you, the last time I went to the theater, I saw Cars. So I'm really, really bad. Hold on 1 second, JD. My man's going to put you on hold real quick, get a better connection. But again, my last movie that I saw was Cars, and that is not a joke. But the movies that are, out, what people are doing, again, the NFL can only keep us sustained so long. We're not getting March Madness, and we're not getting all the things that we need. So what you're going to have to do right now is maybe be like me and other people and just kind of give in to your girlfriend and say, all right, sweetheart, pick a movie. But you know what? If you actually know something that's good and you want to watch, you actually have a chance to actually be entertained. And that's why I'm bringing JD on, because there's movies for sports fans out there. There's movies that are great. There's all kinds of inspirational, sad. I did notice on Netflix, like, what is wrong with all you people? The top 2 things that were watched, like, it was like, I didn't know, on Netflix it has like the top 5, and it was like the movie Outbreak from years ago was number 3, and the show Pandemic was like number 2. It was the funniest thing I have ever seen. I'm like, what is going on? My man JD, he's back. What's up, JD?
Hey,
dude, you sound beautiful, my man. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, we had a little reverb up in there, so I wanted to make sure everybody can hear where your Twitter's at.
You can find me at In Session Films on all the social medias out there.
At In Session Films, by the way, that's at In Session Films. He's the real, and by the way, he's also at Real JD Duran too. Don't forget that one, JD. Got to give your real one out as well, because that's the one I know as well.
Yeah.
But my man, he does everything for movies, and I want people out there at 67129 to hit me up. And if you have a question about a movie, something that's interesting, something that you have to see, hit me up and let me know. But I got to ask you right now, while people are self-quarantining, I looked on my Netflix, my Xfinity, my Amazon Prime, and I was shocked. There is movies galore. There's a whole Oscars section. And again, I'm a sports nerd, so I was kind of freaked out last night. They also had like the top 5. I couldn't believe the movie Outbreak was like number 3. And that's like an old school movie, but I guess because of the pandemic, everybody's like getting crazy and watching Outbreak. There are some weird movies out there that people were watching. And then also, you can watch movies in the theater in your own home. I thought that was also fascinating. Well, that will also cost you a little extra penny, but if you're just sitting in your house not doing anything, maybe you got it. Now, my question is, what is it that people have to see while they're sitting around doing nothing? Tell them something that they can escape for a good hour and a half.
Yeah, I think that is a really great question. If you want to, I guess, be in the moment, Outbreak is available on Netflix, and that has been garnering a lot of views lately. Steven Soderbergh's Contagion from 2011 is another good one. If you go and watch that movie, it is eerie, given the circumstances we find ourselves in. Yeah, it is pretty much verbatim. Maybe a little bit more extreme than
I haven't seen Contagion. Right now. I've seen Outbreak because that was way back in the day when I was actually younger. What's it's just called Contagion?
Yep, called Contagion. It's available on many streaming platforms. It's available to rent, and it's very good. I really like it, and like I said, it's very apt to what we're experiencing right now. So if people want to watch that, maybe freak themselves out a little bit more.
Well, they want to, obviously, with Outbreak. And, hey, you just got to know. And, by the way, I just found it. I'm checking it out. Yeah, I can't believe this one came out in 2011, back in September. And, man, it grossed a ton of money. So, yeah, it's got a bunch of stars. People say it's pretty damn good. I'm going to have to check that out. And you're saying that this is is that Ben Affleck's buddy, Matt Damon?
Yep, that's Matt Damon that stars in that movie, and he's one that we follow. And it kind of jumps a little bit all over the place, given that it's about a world pandemic. It's very much the situation we're in now. Like I said, a little bit more extreme, but it's not too dissimilar. It's eerie enough that it might freak you out a little bit, and how predictive it's become. So that one, you can certainly check out. Disney recently added Frozen 2 to Disney Plus. So if you have kids, that's available.
Dude, by the way,
they had anticipated.
That is also, I literally, that's one of my questions I was going to just straight up ask you. Give me at least 3 films, if you can, for parents, because I talked to a couple friends of mine who they are basically self-quarantine and they're like locked up with all 4 of their kids. They're running around like crazy lunatics. And you said Frozen 2 has been added to the Disney package?
Yep, that is on Disney Plus right now, so you can go watch that. I know some friends of mine who are parents, that's driving them crazy because that's all their kids watch now is Disney 2, or Frozen 2, excuse me. So there's that. I mean, and Disney Plus for kids, it's a great thing. I mean, not only that, but all the Pixar films are up there. I know my son's been watching a lot of the Pixar category or catalog lately, so that's all there. Plus, there's Star Wars stuff.
Oh, I didn't think about that. I've never seen a Star Wars. If you're a person that's never seen a Star Wars, is this the perfect timing to check out the trilogy? And I've always wanted to ask a film critic this. Do you watch it? Because I do know, like I have heard from, I've been told down the hall, there's a guy who is a very, very proud calls himself a Star Wars nerd, has all the Star Wars stuff. But I want to ask, like, because he says like it's done out of order. Do you watch it in order from book like chapter 1 to like how like the end of the book goes, or do you watch it from the very first show and release date? Do you see what I'm saying? Like what order do you watch Star Wars if you've never seen it?
I think that's a great question. A lot of it may just depend on your preference. The prequels that came out in the early 2000s are not the best movies. They're also very CGI. So if you like more practical effects in your films, then the original series is certainly your thing. The new films are a great combination of both. There's certainly a lot of CGI, but there's a lot of practical effects as well. So it just kind of depends. There's I forget the name off the top of my head, but there's a pretty famous order where you skip episode 1, The Phantom Menace. You start with Attack of the Clones, then watch Revenge of the Sith, and then do the original trilogy, and then the new series of films. That's a pretty common one. So I guess you could start there.
I like it. That's why I got my man from In Session Films, J.D. Duran, on to talk about while we are sitting around. Thank you for the NFL and Tom Brady on St. Patrick's Day slapping everybody in Boston. Thanks for all the quarterback drama. A lot of people, according to Colin Cowherd, say he's going to Tampa Bay. So at least people have the NFL, but there is no March Madness. There is no NBA right now. Spring baseball is gone. The start of baseball has been pushed back. We don't know when that's going to happen. They even pushed the Derby back. We're going to have mint juleps in September. How's that sound? That sounds kind of weird to me. But with all this stuff going on, there is an opportunity. Like for me, I ended up watching, I never watched TV. I just watched sports. I watched the show Hunters and got stuck in that. I got stuck in a Hunter's hole, man. I watched like 4 episodes one day, 4 the next, and then finished that junk last night. That was really interesting. But like looking for a movie, like those are, series. Looking for a movie is something like I really have not a clue. That's why I'm bringing J.D. Duran on. He's dropped Frozen. Disney package has all the Pixars. I've talked about the Star Wars and some of the orders. To scare yourself, Outbreak and Contagion are very, very good. What are a couple of your just all-time favorites that you're like, you know what? This is a good time to go back and catch up on this great flick.
Yeah, I think that's a great question. I mean, my favorite film of all time is Citizen Kane. I know you can find that to rent if you really want to get
favorite film of all time is Citizen Kane?
It is. I know. I'm one of those.
No, that's cool,
critics,
man. When was that released? Like how long ago?
That was in the early 40s. Very, very good film. It's earned its reputation. It is very, very good. Billy Wilder's Sunset Boulevard is available to stream on Amazon right now. So if you want to catch that classic film, you can do that as well. Last year's Best Picture winner, Parasite, it has been recently out on available to stream and rent as well.
Is that the one that's where you have to read?
It is a foreign film. It is a South Korean film, but it's very, very good. It has a lot to say about social class. Those dynamics are there, but it's also just bitingly thrilling and entertaining and cinematic. So I would urge people to give it a shot, even if foreign language films aren't your thing, Parasite is very attainable, and it's got so many twists and turns in it. It goes to places that are wild. You just won't predict where it's going to go. So as rich as it is in its themes and in its art, it's just as satisfying with its entertainment. So and I would urge people to give it a shot. And that is available now as well. So hopefully people do go and give that a go. And with Netflix, I guess along those same lines, because they did pretty well with Oscar nominations, The Irishman and Marriage Story are available. So if you haven't seen those, now might be a good time to catch up on all that as well.
Yeah, you're going to also laugh at me. One of my all-time favorites, I mean, I absolutely love it because I watched it as a kid growing up, is Apocalypse Now.
Yeah.
That's
Great
like,
film.
That's like one of the great ones, when you see what is it, Martin Sheen, Charlie's dad, laying there at the start of it, to the end of it. That's just a man smelling nothing like napalm in the morning. There's just so, man, Apocalypse Now is another one of those that's just got great, but it's a long one, man. And this is one of those days, like if you want to sit down and get stuck in a long one, that's another long one. I was going to say, we talked about Star Wars. We know about, the Godfather trilogy if somebody wants to catch up. Is there anything else out there that's like maybe like a trilogy or a couple that you could watch that go together that would work perfect right now?
Yes, I do have an answer to that. First, I just want to say Apocalypse Now is available on Hulu. So if you have Hulu, you can go and check that out right now if you haven't seen it.
It's great, by the way, people.
It is. It is very, very good. As far as other trilogies go, an underrated one that I think is incredible. In fact, it might be my personal favorite trilogy of all time is Richard Linklater's Before trilogy.
What? I haven't even heard this.
I know. That's why I had to bring it up. There are 3 films: Before Sunrise, Before Sunset, and Before Midnight are the names of the films. And it stars Julie Delpy and Ethan Hawke. And it's somewhat of a romance story, but kind of not. I don't want to give too much away.
So you're saying this is a trilogy: Before Sunrise, Before Sunset, and Before Midnight?
Yep, a trilogy of films. They were filmed 9 years apart each time.
Wow.
So in 1995 and 2003, or 2004, excuse me, and then 2013. So they came out 9 years apart, and it follows the same characters over that time in different times of their lives. So it's kind of like what Boyhood was before Boyhood in a way. And it's not really, it's an underseen trilogy. And every time this question comes up, it's the trilogy I like to go to because I think a lot of people will love it if they ever had the opportunity to watch it, but it's just unknown to a lot of people. So that's usually my go-to answer there.
Well, that's the what we're going to have to check. Listen to me, people. Everybody, if you haven't seen Star Wars, great time to sit down. There's a buku of them. You got the trilogy of Before Sunrise, Before Sunset, and Before Midnight. A lot of people don't know about it. My man JD says it's great. I take him for his word. He agreed with me. Apocalypse Now. It's on Hulu. It's great. Parasite. Don't forget Contagion, Outbreak if you want to scare yourself. And then for our kids out there, like Disney's, you got Frozen 2 that's come out. You got Pixar, all their shows. There's things for kids to do. There's a lot of stuff to go out there and watch. Citizen Kane, if you like to go and watch an old school movie, that's a great one. And then what you said, Sunset Boulevard, I believe?
Yep, Sunset Boulevard, the Billy Wilder film, and also the John Sturges film, The Great Escape, starring Steve McQueen. I know that's on Amazon as well. So, yeah, those are 2 other classics that are available for people to go and see if they haven't.
And that's the one that made the muscle car or whatever that car that he drives very famous, right?
That was Bullet.
Bullet. That was Bullet.
The Great Escape, though, does have a famous motorcycle sequence.
Wait, is this where they're like, are they in a camp and they're trying to escape out of like,
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
POW camp.
That's right. Now, I know what you're talking about. Steve McQueen from back in the day, another great one, The Great Escape. Man, JD, thank you so much. Everybody, don't forget, check out In Session Films. It's at In Session Films, at In Session Films. My man, he breaks down everything for you. And then don't forget, at Real J.D. Duran. JD, thank you so much. Have a blessed one and stay healthy, my man.
Yeah, you too. Thanks for having me. Glad to be here
thank
once again.
you. I'll do it, brother. That's my friend JD from In Session Films. I can't thank him enough. I want to remind you, though, right now, while everybody is locked up and watching TV shows and listening to us on the radio, and thank you for the NFL. Oh, I love you, NFL. Do want to remind you, March Sadness is real. Tonight we'd have games in Dayton. The closer Thursday get, the harder my the harder my heart aches. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I can feel it going from the bottom of my stomach straight to my heart. And I think Thursday morning about 10 o'clock it's just gonna break because I'm gonna have March Sadness and it's just gonna be awful. But thank goodness for the NFL, and thank goodness for people like at Frontier Western Store. They got the Frontier Western Store website, HTTPS. That S is for security. That way you know you can go online, put your credit card, and you are going to be safe and secure. Always, when you're at a website, never use your credit card on a website that doesn't have an S for security. Listen to me. I'm very serious. Frontier Western Store, not only do they have great security, it's the easiest dead gum. Like, if you want to navigate, they have sale items. They have boots. They have ladies. They have men's. They have children's. They have shoes. They have this. They have that. They have the largest boot showroom. You can shop by brand. They have a navigation bar. It is so simple that literally I can do it. Frontier Western Store and frontierwesternstore.com. They ship within 24 hours. Check them out right now. And remember, if you want to be styling and profiling, they got you covered. They've been serving the Mid-South for over 50 years. They're the real deal Holyfield. They're down in Olive Branch, down at 5880 Goodman Road. But right now, everybody's shopping online. frontierwesternstore.com. This is Sports 56 96.1. Coming up next, Hardin Wood on 87.7 FM.
Sports 56 mornings with Peter Edmiston and CJ Hertz. Weekdays from 7 to 10. Only on Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7 FM.
Here's a message for all the doubters out there. It turns out you're right. Southland isn't like the other casinos. Sure, Southland has craps tables that are 14 feet long and live blackjack tables with real dealers. But in other ways, they come up short, like that shorter drive and the shorter time to earn rewards. But you don't care about getting more for less, do you? Southland Casino Racing. Surprise yourself. Must be 21 plus. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 1-800-522-4700.
Get to Holly Chevrolet in Marion to take advantage of great deals during Holly's 2020 kickoff sale. Right now, get 0% financing for 72 months on the all-new 2020 Chevy Silverado 1500 Crew Cab plus $500 cash allowance. Or save up to $4,500 off MSRP plus an additional $1,000 conquest on a new 2020 Chevy Equinox. Stop by today and check out Holly's large selection of new and pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs ready for you to enjoy. And at Holly Chevrolet, it's a no-pressure, no-hassle environment. As a matter of fact, there's no badgers and never pay a dock fee. Find new roads at Exit 14 off I-55 in Marion, just 15 minutes from downtown Memphis. HollyChevrolet.com.
2020 Chevy Silverado 1500, stock number M4007. 2020 Chevy Equinox, stock number M4198. 0% financing on approved credit. All discounts, rebates, and incentives are included and applied. Must qualify and finance with GM Financial and own or lease a 2006 or newer GM product. Prices do not include taxes, tags, title, and registration. Take delivery by 3/31/20. See dealer for details.
The best place to go for all things guns and gear is what you hear me talking about all the time. Tactical Guns and Gear has the only one-stop sound suppressor silencer shop in one place on Highway 72 in Collierville. Fingerprints, photo, trust, and notary all in one place. Only place in Tennessee that you can do that. Protecting your kids' ears and your ears and getting less recoil is huge. If you've not been to Tactical Guns and Gear, I promise they have all the latest and best guns and rifles before other shops even have them ordered. And how great is it that you can ask Jim or Jake to add all the gear you want to any gun or rifle, and they'll do the custom package for you. Gun, scope, sight, sling, case, balancer, and ammo, all done. A perfectly balanced rifle is everything, and the right scope is good too. All eyes are different. You may want red or green or night vision. Make sure Jim or Jake knows. For all things guns and gear, head to Tactical Guns and Gear on Highway 72 in Collierville and tell them Eli says hi. Online at tacticalgunsandgear.net.
Hilo Commercial Services can help protect your workplace and employees. Call Hilo Commercial Services today to help mitigate the dangerous effects of the coronavirus and the flu virus. Hilo offers complete deep cleaning and sanitizing services for schools, churches, medical facilities, office buildings, residential, warehouses, and more, all customized to your needs. Put safety first with Hilo Commercial Services. Call Philip right now at 901-277-6733. 901-277-6733. It's time for Hilo Commercial Services.
Hey folks, I'm Jarrett Carter. My family recently purchased East Memphis Ace Hardware at Quince and White Station, and we're excited to offer the best selection of Big Green Egg and Traeger grills. And then don't forget about our Benjamin Moore Paint Studio and the Garden Center for flowers. Save 60% with our new Duracell key fob replacement program. We have a master locksmith service as well as glass cutting and screen repair. East Memphis Ace Hardware, located at Quince and White Station behind Three Little Pigs.
Got something you want to get off your chest?
You better have a backup plan.
Want to join the conversation?
Someone needs to tell him he has to grow up.
Join us on the First Bank phone lines at 360-8255 or the First Bank text line at 67129. Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio.
Kick it over here.
This hour is brought to you by your CBD store, your one-stop for all your natural, organic, and non-GMO CBD products, where good health hits home. Here's Johnny Radio himself, John Hardin.
Shackles, ball and chain. Listen to the whistle of the evening train.
Welcome back into a little Sports 56 Happy Hour, and you know it's my favorite segment. I'm about to take you to Hardinwood and talk about everything that feels so good, but you know what? I got to remind you, I can't do anything like it doesn't even matter if I'm out here talking and y'all aren't listening, and I can't have y'all, I can't even talk into this microphone without unbelievable sponsors. Like, we don't have this beautiful studio without Family Leisure out at 2120 Witten Road, just north of I-40. You got to love Family Leisure in our Family Leisure studios, but you also got to love the houses. That's right. And speaking of houses, buying and selling houses is something that's going to be happening, I think, a lot lately. I know that hopefully the government's going to step in or something's going to happen and help out people, but I do know a lot of people are going to be in trouble and they're going to need to sell their house and just kind of start over, maybe downsize, maybe you're actually, you own Kroger or whatever and you sold everything and you're moving on up like the Jeffersons. I don't know. But what I'm saying is, if you need to sell your house, it doesn't matter your situation. Good or bad, there's nobody better than Bill at I Buy Houses. It's 901-406-1101. You call that number. It's so simple because all you literally have to do is call 901-406-1101. And by calling that number, you just sold your damn house. If it's been on the market for a couple months, why? Why would it be on the market? It's because you didn't call 901-406-1101 because you would have closed in 5 days. That's a guaranteed fact. He closes in 5 days, guaranteed. Call 901-406-1101. But if you don't make the phone ring, nothing can happen. Any house, any area, as is, as simple as that, and closes in 5 days. Call 901-406-1101. Call my buddy Bill at I Buy Them Houses. Let's go to Hardinwood.
This is Access Hardinwood.
Wowzers. Everything is going crazy in this world, and I'm telling you, man, Colin Cowherd has come out and says he guarantees this. O.J. Howard, Chris Godwin, Mike Evans. Get ready, it ain't going to be an ESPN 30 for 30. Thank you, Mr. Sharp. Nope, it is going to be Tom Brady, according to him. And I'm telling you right now, if that's the real deal, Holyfield, and you got Brate, and you got Howard, and you got Evans and Godwin, that's going to get nasty. And those boys are going to be catching balls all over the place. And Brady is just going to pick things apart. And I kind of like it because, again, the final 6 weeks of the season, that defense was numero uno, and they are rising on the way up. They got weapons galore, and if you get rid of 30 for 30 and you get like 30 for 0, and it ain't an ESPN special, it's going to be an ESPN special on 30 for 30, but it ain't going to be about 30 interceptions. It's going to be straight up Dizzo. And again, the only person I feel like you got to get by in that division is now Drew Brees, who re-upped for $50 million. Congratulations to Drew for re-upping. He's going to finish his career in New Orleans. We'll see if he can get him another one. But I do have to say, I am fascinated that Cam Newton smacks the Panthers. The Panthers had the audacity to come out and say that they were going to allow him to go out and seek a trade and all this stuff. Cam Newton came out and literally said, y'all ain't going to, dude, you forced me into this. He said, he basically said, I am ticked off. I am not a happy person. He said, I never asked for this. Please don't try and play me or manipulate me. Don't manipulate the narrative or act like I wanted this. Dude, if you missed it, Panthers GM Marty Herney came out and dropped all this. Stop with the wordplay. There is no dodging this one. Of course we're moving on. And now he's basically like at first was trying to say it was a mutual parting of ways. But now that Cam has basically come back and smacked him, he's, I guess, got to act like he's tough and comes out with, stop with the wordplay. Sorry, GMs, you don't need to do that one. There's no dodging this one. You don't even need to say anything. Just go out and sign Teddy Bridgewater. That's how you slap it back. GMs, by the way, just so you know. You're the guys who make sure they get the checks. By the way, this is going to be interesting. Any chance that now Dwayne Haskins is backing up Cam Newton and there's a Ron Rivera, Cam Newton reunited and it feels so good. Oh, is that going to happen in Washington? Are they going to get Cam Newton, Mr. Hat, back with Ron Rivera and they're going to take it down to the Big Apple? Is that going down in D.C.? I don't know, man. But we got all kinds of craziness going on in the NFL. And again, Tom Brady literally slapped every leprechaun, every Boston, every Irish fan, every Patriot on St. Patty's Day, and these guys can't even go to the bars in Boston because all the bars are closed. By the way, I got a text from my friend. They had to close their restaurants. They were ordered in the French Quarter today. He says his restaurant's on Royale, and they were asked to please close down. And so, like right now, believe it or not, the Quarter, which is always banging, ain't banging right now. Can you imagine the Quarter like empty? I've never seen that, and I've been down there like 6 o'clock in the morning. It's packed.
Yeah, that is terrible.
Oh, man, that is terrible. By the way, something that I thought was really weird, and I just got to ask all this question. Is Drake that guy who has to do anything and everything that is in popular culture and put it on blast and on him, and he has to be a part of it? If the team is winning, he's going to show up in their stands. Drake is like, he's a Toronto guy, but he's also repping them. Kobe Bryant dies. I don't know, he's a big Kobe fan, and he puts 8 and 24 in his court and then like tweets out a tribute to him. Like, why does Drake always feel like every single thing that happens in the world, Drake has to come out there and do a whole huge thing on it? Is like, I don't know. Was like, I don't understand how he became a rapper. I thought he was in like, when he in a TV show Degrassi or something?
Yeah.
Like, how you become a hardcore rapper after being in Degrassi? Is that what it was called? Isn't that like
Degrassi.
Isn't that like a 90210 trying to like come out hard? Or no, Saved by the Bell. You see what Mario's doing, right? Took Zach forever to get out of that Saved by the Bell role. And what's her name had to get naked and do the strip show. By the way, I could imagine that the tall, dorky one was like the one in the strip tease or whatever. Woo-wee. What was that show that she was in? You don't even know. Y'all are too young. Man, that breaks my heart. 67129. Help out an old man who's got obviously brain damage. I do have to say, Dak Prescott, he is getting franchised. He's going to get $31 million. That's $29 more than last year. But how the heck they going to go out there and drop $100 million on Amari Cooper? I don't know. Maybe he's happy. I mean, hey, he's got a great offensive line. Take the $31 million franchise. Get $105 next year. Be like Kirk Cousins. Just keep adding up them contracts and getting rich because everything around you is pretty good. Do your thing. But is Amari Cooper... out. I'm just wondering. No, you can't. And that's the thing. I talked about this last year. Mathematics. You cannot make up $31 million. You just can't do it. Cannot do it. And you don't want to... Why would you... He's only... $2 million is what he made last year. Again... $29 million more than he made last year to come back and play next year, and he would get to be what everybody wants, an unrestricted free agent with that offensive line, that defense, Amari Cooper, Zeke Elliott. That is called the perfect situation.
If he gets hurt, are the Cowboys going to sign him to a deal? Is any team going to sign him to a deal? The answer is no.
He's already made $50 million in endorsements for being
that is irrelevant. That has nothing to do with his contract.
Everybody, okay, see, this is where I guess Randall doesn't understand because you didn't listen to my math thing that I tried to explain to people. You cannot make up $31 million. It's a fact. I did a very small thing. I told it's like using a real estate. You rent something out for $4,000 a year, and somebody comes and says to you, I'll give you $3,750. If you say no to that, you're an idiot, and I'll tell you why. At the end of the year, that is not even $4,000. That's $3,000 difference. You miss 1 month of rent, that's $4,000. You can't make that money up. You miss 2, that's $8,000. Plus, we're not even talking about the CAM taxes and insurance. So what I'm trying to talk about is he just got out of his very little bitty, horrible, third or fourth round contract that sucked. Getting $31 million is like 6 times bigger than his entire contract. And he'll get to get behind that great offensive line. Zeke is loaded. Amari Cooper's back. They have a great defense. He'll be an unrestricted free agent according to the new collective bargaining agreement. That would propel him if he goes out and has another good season, not for $100 million, but maybe $130 million. That means the dude goes from just getting like $2 million last year, 31 this year, another 100 something. I mean, dude, we're talking about Kirk Cousins. I told you, he did it right. He took, the 84. Then he got extended. Just keep taking those. Like, you get franchised, that's $31 million. That ain't nothing to sneeze at. And to come back and play in the NFC least, the weakest conference, you will roll over Washington and Ron Rivera. New York is that is 6 wins. You get to play New York twice. You get to play Washington twice. And then I guess the Eagles, maybe 1-1, so you might lose one game in that. So, I feel like this is the opportunity, and there's always an opportunity for risk, yes, but it's $31 million guaranteed, and it's an opportunity. That's what you always want as an athlete, is an opportunity, and this is the opportunity for Dak to cash that super check. If I go out there next year, unrestricted free agent after they franchise, I get $31 million, and I have a great season, and we win that. Bro, this year is the crazy year for quarterbacks. How many are going to be out there next year? I think it will set up for him to be super, super rich. I'm talking buku rich. And being the big man in Big D, that can't be bad. You know what I'm saying? It's got to feel kind of good. And I do understand he's got to, there has to be a little bit of a fractured relationship because everybody has a thing called pride. And when you look around and you see them taking care of Amari and Zeke, and you see them taking care of all your defenses and Jalen, and you see all this stuff going on. Look, I know you love Mr. Smith, and I know you love Mr. Cooper, but I know you love your family and you love your own bank account too.
They paid Ryan Tannehill for half of a season. I'm sorry. Listen, John, everything you're saying makes so much sense. I get it. They paid Ryan Tannehill for half of a season. He was cheeks.
No.
I mean, cheeks in Miami, and they paid him for half of a season. They just extended, what's his name, in Minnesota, Kirk Cousins, for doing nothing.
Dude, I know.
So it's
crazy.
Dude, they're giving guys who are lesser quarterbacks than Dak Prescott money with no hesitation.
Oh,
and Dak has overperformed his previous fourth-round contract. He's overperformed it. He had a great season last year. Last season was a total disappointment, not because of Dak, but because of Zeke and that defense. Now, yes, Dak had his, he had his part in it, sure. But that season was primarily a disappointment because of the defense and Zeke not playing up to his money. So I get what you're saying is valid, but I'm still like, bro, they should have paid you already. And,
I agree.
And this is so insulting to me.
But this is the one thing that he also has to, and this is where I guess is the cherry on the cake about Dak coming back. Because the one thing that I feel that held the Cowboys back was this guy named Jason Garrett. I'm not going to say Mike McCarthy is the greatest damn coach or he's Vince damn Lombardi or Bill Belichick or anything like that, but he has a Super Bowl. He knows offense. And I have talked with defensive coordinators, literally, and out of their mouth, exact words, the easiest team to prepare for every week has been the Dallas Cowboys since I've been in the league because Jason Garrett lines up his wide receivers on the same side of the field every single damn time. They don't use motion. They basically run the same 12 plays. They run the same the route tree they ran every single year before. They don't mix anything up. It's like we just watched the film from what we did last year, and they just try to physically go beat you up because they think they're better than you. And Jason Garrett, he's about as innovative on offense as, man, I don't know. You remember that little dude who used to like paint the same picture of the sky on PBS? I'm sure if he was a PBS artist, he wasn't no Michelangelo.
You mean a Bob Ross?
Yeah, I'm just kidding. I'm not Bob Ross. No, I liked him. You talking about the white-haired dude? No, I liked him. I'm talking about he had the little thing. No, I'm talking about the cheap one. Didn't you see the cheap Bob Ross? You don't see. You weren't that. There was actually, they even had a cheap Sesame Street they tried to pull off back then. Like they tried to do the Muppets, man. It didn't work if it wasn't, Big Bird and Ernie and all that stuff. But you can't pull off like I remember the swag Converse they used to have people back in the day. That's what my mom used to buy me, and they were called, I think, Buddies. But dude, back in the day, they used to have a knockoff of everything. But anyway, you don't want to knock off, and right now, Tom Brady is the real deal. Holyfield, I don't think he's a knockoff. I don't think he's quite as the greatest part of himself, but he is going to be a step up from ESPN's 30 for 30. And according to now more sources, I just got another text here. One says, mint juleps in September because of coronavirus. That sounds horrible. Yes, it does. Mint juleps are not very good, by the way. I don't know if y'all have had them. It's like a Kentucky Derby thing, but in September, no thank you. But the other one is not only is now Fox Sports 1 reporting it, but TMZ is reporting that Tom Brady is going to sign with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers tomorrow. Wow. So, how many people reporting this thing? And if it doesn't happen, is it egg in your face? Or are people just going to move on to the next story? I don't know, man. Because right now I'm looking on TV, and my buddy Louis Riddick is, I think, talking about Tom Brady, saying that he's definitely not going to be back at the Patriots, but he thinks he could be going to, it looks like he's saying the Chargers. I don't know, man. Who knows what's going to happen with Tom Brady? But I do know this. Nobody will ever forget that he slapped all Bostonians on St. Patrick's Day on his way out. Peace, y'all. We'll be back in 2 shakes. Sports 56, 96.1, and, of course, 87.7 FM.
Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy get you through the midday with Sports 56 Middays. Delivered by FedEx. Weekdays from 10 till 1 on Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7.
The construction reduction event is on at Wolf Chase Honda. Exciting changes are in the works and inventory must be reduced. Get the best deals right now on all remaining 2019 Hondas while they last. Every new car, every certified, every used car, price to go. Get pre-approved now at wolfchasehonda.com. Wolf Chase Honda is expanding and our prices are dropping. Don't miss these savings. Act now. This huge construction reduction event ends soon.
For the best lineup of quality, fuel-efficient, and fun-to-drive vehicles, get to Wolf Chase Honda and Wolf Chase Nissan. Over 1,000 new certified and pre-owned vehicles in one great location. Catch the savings now during our huge model year-end sales event. Score an amazing deal at Wolf Chase Honda and Wolf Chase Nissan and get to the game in style at Germantown Road and Highway 64. Family-owned since 1981.
First Bank is here to help you, whether you're a business looking for a loan to expand or refinance an existing one, a homeowner looking for a mortgage or home equity line, a consumer wanting to finance your dream car, or wanting a competitive rate on your CD deposits. Let First Bank try to handle your banking needs. Stop into one of First Bank's 3 local branches today. 6482 Poplar Avenue, just east of International Paper, 8398 Highway 64 across from Wolf Chase, and 6280 Highway 64 in Oakland. Or check them out online at firstbankonline.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
One of the best things about Third and Court, Memphis's great downtown diner, is the all-day breakfast. Sometimes it doesn't matter if it's lunchtime. What you're really craving is a great breakfast. And the best breakfast downtown is served at Third and Court all day long. Try the house-made buttermilk biscuits with sausage gravy, or French toast made with brioche, powdered sugar, bananas, Petitjean bacon, and maple syrup. And of course, every single one of the classic staples you love in a good breakfast. It's all great, and it's all served all day at Third and Court, Memphis's downtown diner.
Make your day smoking with the Big Green Egg. You can smoke, bake, roast, sear, and grill, all with a lifetime warranty. Ceramic never rusts, and the easy, accurate temperature control gives you the greatest range of any grill. Make your next grill your last with the Big Green Egg. Available at these nearby locations: Hamilton Fireplace Shop, 4462 Summer Avenue; Germantown Hardware Company, 2083 South Germantown Road; Garden Spas and Pool, 9393 Poplar Avenue; and East Memphis Ace Hardware, 5143 Quince Road.
Do you know one of the best things you can do for your employees or family's health? Provide Arctic Clear bottled water. Arctic Clear bottled water is your locally owned and operated bottled water provider. Arctic Clear is 100% natural spring water with free delivery and setup, dependable service, and no long-term contracts. What an easy choice. Call Jeff Manus today, 901-382-2363, or visit arctic-clear.com. Arctic Clear bottled water. Call now, 382-2363. That's 382-2363.
Stop waiting and start off-road living in a Can-Am today. The Spring Fever event is now on at Olive Branch Motorsports. Take on every task, trail, and terrain in a Can-Am off-road vehicle that will easily handle anything that comes your way. And for a limited time, get up to $2,500 off on select 2019 models, making it easier than ever to go out and play. Visit Olive Branch Motorsports now at 5656 Goodman Road or online at obmotorcycleatv.com.
I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses. I Buy Houses will buy a house in any area, in any condition, and yes, it's guaranteed to close in 5 days. If you need to sell your home quickly, call 901-406-1101. If you've been through a divorce, if you lost your job, if you're tired of renters, I Buy Houses can get you your money quickly. I Buy Houses will buy your home in Shelby County, DeSoto County, Memphis, Bartlett, South Haven, Horn Lake, Olive Branch, anywhere and everywhere in between in any condition. And yes, they're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Grab that pen, 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses.
Pull up a seat and grab a drink. It's Johnny Radio's Happy Hour. Let's go! This hour is brought to you by your CBD store, your one-stop for all your natural, organic, and non-GMO CBD products, where good health hits home. Here's Johnny Radio himself, John Hardin.
Many a hand has scaled the grand old face of the plateau. Some belong to strangers and some to folks you know. Holy Ghost and talk show hosts are planted in the sand.
Yo, yo, yo! Y'all know what it is, don't y'all? It's St. Patty's Day, but it's St. Sadie's Day because for all my Patriots fan and Bostonians, Tom Brady has said hasta mañana, buenos dias. Is that right? By the way, is that how do you say goodbye that way in Spanish?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, he said it was right. One says no. One of y'all doesn't know Spanish, and one of y'all does. I don't know how to say goodbye.
Hasta mañana is see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Oh, see, I did it. What's the buenos dias?
That's good morning.
I said goodbye and good morning. See what I'm saying? I'm saying peace and good morning to you.
Nah, John, don't do that. Don't do that. Stop
it reminds me of that. Did you ever see Saturday Night Live when y'all were way too young? Y'all probably weren't even born. But they did this funny thing where they had the kids who were learning their Spanish, and they're like, they go out in the world and they're like la biblioteca, and like the only like they could only say like these small phrases. Anyway, you'd have to have seen it was a long time ago. But anyway. Going on today, I got to ask y'all right now. Y'all care do y'all remember Austin Safarian Jenkins? This guy at Washington who was supposed to be he is a big man of a man. Dude goes, I believe, to Tampa Bay, then finishes his career out at Washington before he's cut. Never lived up to what he was supposed to be, but I think I figured out why. And it's sad, and it really is sad. There were rumors back in the day from Washington that the dude just didn't have the work ethic, and he loved to party like a rock star. Like the dude was, I guess, more rock star than ball player, but it was one hell of a ball player. He couldn't sing or play a guitar, but he could play football and wanted to be a rock star and live the rock star lifestyle. Obviously, I think he has a huge drinking problem. Might need to see Bill W. and Dr. Bob in the 12-step program because he just got his third DUI. My man was in the NFL for only 6 seasons and was cut because of his first DUI by the Redskins. He's gotten he got another one in 2016. He just got another one again. He's 3 DUIs since he's been out of the NFL. That is definitely an issue, and I'm just going to be honest to say I'm actually going to be praying for my man Austin Seferian-Jenkins, because I will be saying right now he's very lucky that he hadn't injured anybody on the road. Again, if you got a drinking problem, serious people, go out there and reach help. There is help out there for you. And I do have to say, on a lighter note, Trevor Bauer and a bunch of baseball players, have y'all seen the Astros wiffle ball sandlot style little joke that they did, videotape and shot out? For somebody that's a baseball fan and baseball's not going on, for me, it was hilarious. They play wiffle ball, and they go out there, and basically it was a whole thing of making fun of the Astros. They're like banging on garbage cans and doing all this stuff, and they were trolling the Astros so hard. So I got to give a shout out to Trevor Bauer. That was one of those things that I just absolutely loved. And I also got to say one other thing. Give me a little love, to all the people out there who are on the front lines. I really do want to say thank you so much for basically fighting tooth and nail to keep everybody safe, keep it going. And I also want to remind all you people out there that if you need a concrete floor or something like that, check out Surfacescapes. Right now, go to surfacescapes.com or call 901-888-5000. Surfacescapes for garage floors, restaurants, office, retail, industrial, anything you can think of. Check it out. That's surfacescapes.com. People, get out of here. I'll see y'all on the flip side. I hope you enjoy life and enjoy Wolo and Stats and Sports Time, because they're coming up next. This is Johnny Radio saying peace. And, golly, seriously, stay safe. I'm out.
If you've always thought, hey, I'd look pretty good in Lexus, well, guess what? Lexus thinks so, too. Lexus is offering you the Golden Opportunity Sales Event. Great offers on all 2020 models and special lease options. Drive in luxury and confidence, knowing that every new Lexus